To in quite exquisite fashion by Arthur. So it's a long way back now for Spurs in terms of their efforts on goal. They were few and far between. 2 shots, only 1 on target. The free kick from Christian Eriksen. 9 attempts on goal for Barcelona, who are 2 up, but on the balance of play perhaps deserve to have an even healthier half-time advantage. And we expect now we'll have a whole host of changes for both teams as the rest of the game pans out. Don't forget, though, there were those injuries in the first half sustained by players of both sides. Barca lost 2 of their midfield 3. Denis Suarez and Andre Gomez forced off with injuries. And also Spurs with Moussa Sissoko going off with what appeared to be a hamstring problem for him. See a couple of players there look to be imminent coming off the bench for Spurs. Davinson Sanchez amongst them. Oliver Skipp, perhaps the young midfield player too. We'll confirm all that for you as soon as we can. But in terms of the Spurs game plan now, second half, Clive Allen, it's a long way back. How do they start that road back?
Well, I think ᴛᴏᴛᴛᴜᴜ will want them really to start very intense pressure. I think, as we discussed in the first half, maybe a tactical change in that they'll have 3 central defenders, push the wing-backs forward to try to make more bodies in that midfield area, an area which they have to try to take control of, which Barcelona dominated in that first half.
So double change then for Spurs. 2 players coming on, one well-known, one less so. Davinson Sanchez, the Colombian, had that wonderful first campaign with Spurs last year. Oliver Skipp, a midfield player who is 17, came off the bench in the match against Roma 2. Defensive midfield player by nature. England under-18 international, can also play in defence, but we'll see where he lines up now in the second half for Spurs tonight.
I think he'll go into the central position, midfield. He's one who likes to get on the ball, likes to orchestrate things from that central midfield position.
Another change there, Fernando Llorente departing, we're told, and being replaced by another of the young guns, Anthony Giorgi. There is Skipp, big chance for him now, and what an opposition to play against in the shape of Barcelona. And some of those midfield players who really ran the first half. It's going to be a tall order for him to impose himself on the game, but that will be his intention in the second period. Spurs player sent out good early by Mauricio Pochettino. Beautiful evening in California, the end of a hot day. It's a busy old few days these for Spurs. They were in San Diego on Wednesday for their first match against Roma. They're off to Minneapolis for their last game here on Tuesday against Milan. Still no sign just yet of the Barcelona team, who are a bit late now in their re-emergence for the second half. The Barca fans who are packed in here and vastly outnumbering the Spurs contingent inside the stadium. I think we'll be pretty pleased to see the depth they have in their squad. We mentioned earlier the likes of Messi and Luis Suarez are a long, long way off being in the team right now. Some of these players showing what they can do.
Absolutely, and I think they'll be excited by what they see. You love to see homegrown talent emerging. And certainly in the Barcelona ranks, we've seen some stars of the future this evening.
And a reminder here, the 2 goals we saw in the first half, Munir with the first, and this one here. An absolute piece of magic from Arthur. It's a role they have to fill now in midfield, with Andres Iniesta having departed after so many years of outstanding service. Arthur maybe could be the man to fill those sizable boots. He's just 21. They've signed 3 players so far this summer, Barcelona, and we've seen 2 of them in the first half here, Arthur and ᴛᴏᴛᴛᴜᴜ. The other one, Malcolm, the winger who was signed from Bordeaux earlier on in the week.
Quite a bizarre transfer in that
Yeah.
It seemed he was going to Roma, then just 24 hours later popped up as a Barcelona player.
and he could make his first appearance for Barca against Roma in their last game here, which takes place on Tuesday in Arlington, which should be quite a subplot.
Roma will be very happy about that, I'm sure. Lot to consider from Mauricio Pochettino. He will realise, obviously, the quality that he's come up against tonight. And looking at his younger players in particular to see how they can cope against opposition of this magnitude.
I think he's wondering, like the rest of us, just where Barcelona have gone to. I hope they're aware it's a 90-minute friendly match, this, not just a 45, because they're nowhere to be seen right now. Ernesto Valverde's side.
Perhaps they think it's a longer break at half-time than it actually is.
You saw Pochettino there alongside his trusted colleagues Jesus Perez and Miguel D'Agostino. It's a good brain trust that. There they are, thankfully. They are going to re-emerge pretty soon, the Barcelona team. But they've done wonders, that coaching setup under Pochettino, to really change the atmosphere of Spurs over the past few years and develop players and make players better.
Yeah, and certainly they've worked very hard on the approach, the attitude of players, the professionalism that they feel is needed to take the club forward.
So here they come then, Barcelona's team for the second half, and it will be quite a different team for the second half by the looks of things. Several changes because they're going to take place here from Ernesto Valverde. And amongst them, those coming on, one of the summer signings perhaps. We will just wait and see exactly who they're going to shuffle here and bring off the bench for the second period. But it's the customary thing now, all change for the second half. Although Spurs going with a pretty similar team to the one which played in that first period, just the couple of the half-time changes for them. So away we go once again. And amongst those half-time changes for Barca, as we saw there, Malcolm coming off the bench. A first chance to see him for the Barca fans. Can they add now to this 2-goal lead they enjoy in their first game of this year's International Champions Cup? Or can Tottenham mount a comeback? It would appear unlikely, but you never know. But they came from 1 down to score 4 against Roma in the first game. But Barcelona on this form, a different proposition.
We just hope it doesn't affect the flow of the game. Certainly the way that Barcelona attacked it in the early period and the quality they showed.
Here's Ben Davies for Spurs. Laid back by skip to Davinson Sanchez.
Spurs still playing with a back four. Davies has gone to left back, replacing Cole Peters. With Sanchez coming into the heart of the defence alongside Carter Vickers.
Here's Davis. See their confirmation of those changes made by Barcelona at the half-time interval. Many of those players coming off the bench are players who've been brought in from the B squad. So lots of new names, and amongst them the number 26 there, Malcolm. Signed for big money from Bordeaux, as you mentioned, Clive, from under the nose of Roma. We'll see what he can produce here. He's quick, and here he is straight away, trying to get in behind him, Carter Vickers, but it's a tough man to get past. Sergio Palencia, number 25 there for Barca, the captain of their B team.
Yeah, he's replaced Semedo, the right back, who had an outstanding first half.
So 8 changes in total at the break from Ernesto Valverde, to add 2 in the first half, which were forced upon him due to injuries. So they really are utilising the whole depth of their squad here tonight. It's a nice touch there by Puig, one of those first half substitutes. Malcolm. It's Palencia. 27 here is Alex Collado. Joined the club when he was just 10 years of age, born in Barcelona. Here he is again. Love the low centre of gravity, which is so typical of the players who come through the La Masia Academy. Malcolm's ball forward there. Good bit of covering work by Skip for Spurs, but it will be a corner for Valverde's side.
Yeah, just sensed a threat, got himself back in between the two centre-halves to intercept. I think he'll be delighted with the first half performances of his team. He's seen enough from one or two of the youngsters and perhaps one or two of the seniors who are on the fringe for the coming season.
It's Malcolm's corner. A bit of a miscued effort there by ģᴏᴛsᴘᴜr, number 3. Centre-back, another young man, just 18. This is ᴛᴏᴛᴛᴇირ, number 23. He's 19 years of age. It's pretty much a youth team out there now for Barca. But they're going to play the Barca way, there's no doubt about that. It's been drilled into them from a very young age.
Yeah, exactly the same shape, exactly the same principles they have to adhere to. Pass, move. Technically very, very sound players.
Now Sanchez has to be careful there. The bounce is awkward too for Gazzaniga. He played one league game in his first campaign with Spurs last year, but he played well. It was a 1-0 win against Crystal Palace at Wembley, when both Lloris and Vorm were missing due to injuries. A player who followed Mauricio Pochettino from Southampton to Spurs. Here's ģᴏᴛsᴘᴜr, now ᴛᴏᴛᴜ. Happy to try and play their way out from the back here, Barcelona, but they've given it away there. This is Amos on the charge, and he's been fouled. Free kick. And it's a free kick, you would think, just about in Eriksson range again.
Cucurella's just really charging into the back of young Amos. Good situation for Spurs at the beginning of this second half.
Well, Eriksson has placed the ball with purpose. It's, what, a good 30-odd yards out this. It's a 4-man defensive wall for Barcelona. Eriksson's free kick. Oh, it came off the post. Very unlucky. And then the rebound came the way of ßōrᴜ. But Eriksson there nearly pulled one back.
Yeah, just inches in it. Eriksson trying to wind that ball inside that upright. Had Citizen beaten, thunders back off the upright. ģᴏᴜ couldn't take advantage of the opportunity.
Here's Son. ģᴏᴜ again. Strong play there by ģᴏᴜ. It's taken up by Son. All the way back now with Carter Vickers. Here's the free kick once again, Clive.
And he winds it round that ball. You can see the keeper beaten. Just trying to ease it inside that upright. Just a fraction away from being successful, Christian Eriksen.
Man who helped Denmark reach the knockout stage of the World Cup. They went out in the end against Croatia on penalties. 5th year in charge now, Spurs, for Pochettino. Led the club to 3 successive seasons of Champions League football for the first time ever. Proved to be a fine appointment since he arrived from Southampton back in 2014. Taking Spurs to that next level, though, now is the big challenge which lies before him. Citizen there being pressurised, but so much confidence on the ball from all of those playing for Barca, even the goalkeeper. That's a brilliant touch there to get away from Skip. Now then, Malcolm for Barcelona. There was a push there, I think, off the ball on Malcolm, which went unspotted in the end. It's a free kick for Spurs.
Yeah, he was going for the return pass, and Carter-Vickers, he just got a run on him into the 18-yard box, just shoved by Carter-Vickers. He got away with that on that occasion.
Here's Aurier. Sanchez. Bit of space here for Eriksson. He's allowed to turn. Can he pick a pass now? Lucas Moura. This is Son. It's a good block by Cucurella. Davis. It's more familiar left-back position now. Spot he made his own last year. Really usurped Danny Rose as Spurs' first choice in that position. Tough year, wasn't it, for Rose, for many, many reasons, but I wonder if he's back to full fitness again, just how that will pan out at left-back this season for Spurs. Malcolm, back to Cucurella. There's a player who was brought in from Espanyol in 2012. Actually played one game for the senior side last year, the Copa del Rey, back in March. Son there has won a corner off ģᴏᴜnsᴘᴜ. More threat here about Tottenham after half-time. Son to Skip. Now Eriksson. It's a low ball, but pretty comfortably dealt with.
Well, a lot of reshuffling, certainly for Barcelona, with the number of changes that they've made, just trying to find their shape at the moment. Pochettino going with an experienced front line now. Moura coming more central, Son on the right, Kudo on the left, Eriksson just behind Moura.
Sanchez. Davis. Good run there. Eriksson. Been very bright in the second half so far. Lucas Moura. Nearly came in the way of Aurier. Here's Carter-Vickers. Now Skip. Sanchez. We are actually one centre-half down, Spurs, on this trip. Juan Foyth returned home earlier in the week due to injury. Calls for Tongan and Alderweireld still on their holidays. Eric Dyer too. Minguez's ball forward. Sanchez with the header. Here's Amos. Went to ground, the referee there playing the advantage with Spurs in possession still.
I think Spurs have settled better at the beginning of this second half, got more bodies higher up the field, not allowed Barcelona to dominate possession in the way that they did in that first period.
Interesting that Spurs are one of only 2 teams in the Premier League who are still yet to sign a player in this summer transfer window so far, the others being Burnley. Do you foresee much activity coming up from Spurs, or will they be happy with the squad they have?
Well, I think obviously Lucas Moura in his second season, Lamela coming back from a long-term injury last season. It's almost like having 2 new players, but I'm sure that they've identified players that they want, and historically Chairman Daniel Levy leaves it late. I think on the evidence of tonight, seeing what he's seen, he will want to add to this squad, there's no doubt. He won't want to be losing players, that's for sure.
It's a bar which has been raised ever higher by the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, who spent big this summer. It's going to be a tough ask for Spurs to maintain a top 4 place, but I suppose the hope is that eventually they'll push on beyond that and try and push for the title. It might not be this year, but that's still going to be the long-term goal.
It has to be the aim, yes.
Eriksson, cute pass by him to Son, and good feet by him. Son with a shot. It's a good move there. He's just pulled up there, Son.
I think he twisted his right ankle just as he struck the ball. The way he landed, pulled up sharply, did Son. But better from Spurs at the start of this second half. Eriksson becoming more prominent, good interplay with Son. Didn't quite get the strike that he was hoping for.
Never want to make too much of a meal of any injuries, Son, so he's hobbling on for now. As I mentioned, he's set to be away for a good few weeks at the Asian Games with South Korea. It will be a blow that to lose him for Spurs. A tough start to this season. 3 of their first 4 games in the Premier League are away from home. Starting away at Newcastle. Won't be until the 15th of September until they move into their brand new home, the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's going to be some ground too. I know you've been there, Clive, and had a look at it.
Absolutely, second to none. Will be one of the best stadiums in Europe, if not the world. No expense spared. It's going to be an absolutely incredible spectator experience.
Not just for our football, soccer, NFL's going to be there as well.
Yeah, multi-purpose stadium, really exciting times in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
More alterations on the way here for Spurs. Anthony Georgiou is going to be coming off the bench. Also the keeper, Michel Vorm, replacing Paolo Gazzaniga. And also Lucas Moura departing here for Tottenham. Vorm, who signed a new contract with the club this summer. His 5th year since he was signed for Swansea, a regular deputy for Hugo Lloris. And Georgiou coming on, the Cypriot, who's just 21, and his debut in March for Cyprus. His senior Spurs debut came against Apoel of Cyprus in the Champions League last season.
And he's a young, exciting winger that Spurs have high hopes of.
There he is, putting some pressure on Malcolm. Cucurella's ball forward. It's Abel Ruiz, number 7 now, who is the focal point of the attack in the second half of Barcelona.
You could just see, Joe, the way that Spurs have got more bodies in that midfield area. They're almost outnumbering Barcelona, something that they had to attempt at the beginning of the second half to stop them dominating the tempo and possession in the game. You can see more white shirts in the Barcelona half as soon as they're in possession of the ball.
Aurier with the throw. Oh, that's a mistake there by Carter Vickers, but he got away with it.
Wasn't a good throw. It's one of those that's coming back towards the defender. He needs to be able to take a first touch with his feet. It bounces yards in front of him. All of a sudden it's up around his midriff. Very, very difficult to deal with.
Malcolm hauled down from behind. It was a player they were desperate to get. Evidently in the end, Barcelona. Malcolm, from what you've seen of him before at Bordeaux, is he a Barcelona-style player?
Yeah, I think he can be. He really is quick. He's certainly devastating in the final third, a taker of chances. Oh, who wouldn't be wanting to come into a Barcelona team if you're a forward player? Might have to be take his time, just have to wait his chance on a regular basis, but what an opportunity for him.
Eriksson there was checked by Quensa. I suppose Ousmane Dembélé is ahead of him in the pecking order, perhaps, the young French winger. Oh, quick free kick there by Spurs. Eriksson finding Son. Son's done well. The ball did just squirm behind. That will be a goal kick.
Yeah, they're brighter Spurs this second half. Son and Eriksson combining on a couple of occasions. Very bright and alert there.
And being a couple of weeks further advanced in their pre-season preparations, maybe that will tell now in the second half for Spurs.
Yeah, and I think that's perhaps why Valverde has made so many changes, just the younger, fresh legs. And the opportunity to have a look as well at this early stage in Barcelona's preparations for the new season.
Well, they were 14 points clear of their nearest challengers at the end of last season in the Liga. Barcelona, it was Atletico Madrid, 17 points they were ahead of Real Madrid. They only lost one league game all season. It was their penultimate match away at Levante when they rested Messi and lost 5-4. An incredible game. Coutinho scoring a hat-trick in that match. They were just one goal short of scoring 100 goals. Here's Malcolm. Michel Vorm had to get down there pretty smartly to keep that ball at bay just about.
Well, his first shot from Malcolm, testing Vorm at his near post. Going on the outside onto his favoured left foot. Michel Vorm has to be sharp, dropping down to his near post. That's what he can do, Joe. Just a little turn of pace and explosive.
Malcolm with the corner. It was a good one too, and it was Quensa up from the back. He met it.
He'll be disappointed he hasn't got the header on target, because it's a good delivery, swinging away from the goal. As we see Malcolm again, this is what he does so well. Moves it quickly onto the outside of his left foot. Fires in the shot.
To be a very exciting player. Another exciting player coming off the bench now for Barcelona. The 19-year-old Canadian, Balou Tabla. A player that fans of MLS football will be aware of. He was signed in January from Montreal Impact. He's been playing for the B team in Barcelona since he was signed a few months ago. And here's Palencia. Now Collado. This is Monchi. Ḥuanься.
You can just see the same pattern that these young Barcelona players are adopting. Might not have the physical presence that the seniors have, but you can see exactly the same angles, the way that they pass and move. As you said, Joe, drilled into them from an early age. They all come in, they look comfortable and look accomplished.
Malcolm, it's been cut out well. And Kudu, oh, that's a crunching tackle. A yellow card for that, and rightly so. Kevin Stott, the referee, going into his pocket for the first time this evening. I think there was no debate about that. Monchu was with a tackle and a deserved booking. Number 14 there for Barcelona.
Yeah, completely missed time. Kudu just towing that ball away from him as the challenge comes in. Rightly receiving a yellow card.
Player who was born in Palma on the island of Mallorca. And his B-team debut last December. So still, Tabla waits for his arrival, and here he comes now, and he'll take the place of Carlos Perez, the winger, who was one of the first half substitutes for Barca. So a sub has been subbed. So still just over 20 minutes to go. Spurs still hoping to conjure some sort of comeback in what remains here. They have been better in the second half. Here's Aurier. Now Amos. Bit of time on the ball for him. Georgiou. Was born in Lewisham in South London. It's a sloppy giveaway. Monchu, he's given it away to Amos. Now Eriksson. And Kudu just didn't quite take the ball with him. Good defending by Oscar Mingueza. Skip. He's done well there. Good turn of pace. The tackle came in. It's Palencia. It will be a free kick for Spurs.
Well, that's positive from Skip down the left-hand side, driving down the touchline, drawing the challenge, winning the free kick. Carter-Vickers up, Sanchez up.
Well, could this be a route back into the game for Tottenham? Eriksson with the free kick, a good 1-2, and it flicks away for a corner. Came off Abel Ruiz. Set-piece pressure continues.
And as it is such a young Barcelona team now, you just wonder, should Spurs manage to find the net once? Could ask a question of them as this game wears on.
And they find a chink in the armour here. Slipped away by Collado. The shot came in, blocked away though, and Spurs are all the way back at square one again. Carter-Vickers. Davies. Here's Kudu. Davies, energetic, good ball into. And Eriksson's in there. Fantastic block then. Son! He's pulled one back. And it's game on now. Spurs back in it. Back to 2-1. And there's belief again here for them.
Well, they've made that pressure count, and it comes from pressing higher up the field. They work the ball down the left-hand side, and Kudu rolls the ball nicely into the path of Davies' first-time cross. It's not cleared by that young Barcelona defence, and when it pops out to Song, He's clinical in the way that he just side foots the opportunity into the bottom corner.
Well, as you just said, maybe one back for Spurs could create some jitters for this young Barca team. We'll see if Spurs can build on this now. They're on the comeback trail once again at this year's International Champions Cup. A busy old summer, Son. A couple of goals out in Russia for South Korea. And he scored his first goal of this tournament now to put this fixture back in the balance again. Eriksson had a very good second half. Georgie. Aurier overlapping. Aurier's ball in, nearly picked out Son. And Kudu was in there too for Spurs. Aurier, good ball, Son! Oh, and still maybe. Can he squeeze it in here? Oh, it's off the line, then turned in. It is 2-2. From 2 down, Spurs have leveled the game. And now it's their fans on their feet. Some match we have now, and Kudu it was in the end who thumped the ball over the goal line. 2 apiece.
Joe, I wonder whether Eriksson's strike actually crossed the line, but when it comes out and Kudu makes it absolutely positive that it's a Spurs equaliser. Son is scrappy, the pressure's on. Does that go in from... Oh, it's Georgiou who's there with the left foot strike. As it pops back here, is it over the line? But Kudu, mate, doubly sure, smashing the equaliser into the roof of the net. And that pressure right from the beginning of the second half has told for Spurs on this young Barcelona side. That's a close call.
Yeah, Palencia on the goal line it is.
But then Kudu's there to make sure 2 apiece.
And here comes Spurs again. Serge Aurier. That's deflected. And it has Citizen scampering. It's a corner. It's one-way stuff now. And Barca really are rocking. George Kevin and Kudu given the goal. Full marks for Spurs' endeavour, commitment and fight in the second half. Here's Davies. It's behind Son, who may have been offside. It was a close one. Still a quarter of an hour to go here for Spurs to go on and win the game now.
Yeah, quite possibly. They've taken the initiative in this game in the second half. The tactical change that Mauricio Pochettino made has certainly paid dividends. Eriksson's become far more prominent. He's been instrumental. That's been everything good about Spurs' performance in the second period.
It would do wonders for their self-belief, albeit against a very youthful Barca team here, but to come from 2 down to win a game like this would be quite something for them.
Absolutely, and there is a sprinkling of young players in the Spurs side now as well, in the heart of that midfield in particular, Amos and Skip.
Davies. And Kudu. Didn't have the best of times at Burnley last season. Didn't really get a chance to establish himself there. And he's popped up here with the equalising goal tonight. There's Davies. Quensa. Just lost their flow now, Barcelona. Famous Spurs anthem rings around the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
I think it was those Barcelona supporters in the first half that was enjoying what they were seeing. But for the Spurs faithful, much better in this second half.
Fantastic to see that the locals here, members of the Tottenham fan base of the US, enjoying the chance to watch their heroes play in this International Champions Cup. It's been a real show from them in the second half.
Apart from the one Malcolm attempt, Form coming in as a second half substitute, really he's had nothing to do in that Spurs goal.
Collado. Mingueza. Palencia.
Pressure again, works well. Eriksson picking up the loose ball.
It's Georgiou. Now Carter Vickers. Might be 3 or 4 Spurs players who go through the entire 90 minutes here. Think of Son and Eriksson, Aurier, Carter Vickers. Here's Skip. Good run by the half-time sub. Son back towards Skip again. Quite the perfect pass he was hoping for. And ģᴏᴜnsᴘᴜ away.
Great determination from young Skip, driving forward. Full of confidence is this young man.
He was 17, remember. International under 18 level with England. He hails from Worthing Garden City.
Look at the difference in this second half, Joe. The number of white shirts that are in the final third of the field as Barcelona are trying to play out.
Here's Malcolm. It could be the danger man. Spurs have to be very careful to keep a close eye on. Oh, that's lovely. They're in again here, Barcelona. Malcolm. Was there a push there by Davies? There was no whistle. And the final effort was a fairly tame one from Riqui Puig.
Yeah, Malcolm just couldn't get set to fire off with that famous left foot that he has. You can see here, cuts inside, he's looking to try to get the shot. Davies, close attentions. Referee was having none of it. Perhaps Davies a little bit fortunate there not to concede a free kick.
So, 10 minutes to go. Game which is there to be won by both teams here. Reminder for you, if it is a draw at the end of the 90-minute mark, then we would go into a penalty shootout to determine the winner. We've seen plenty of those throughout this tournament over the past week or so. Georgiou. Aurier. Amos. Turned on by Son. Georgiou. Onto that favoured left foot. Eriksson's in there. And he got something on it too. And it forced a save from Sitherson.
It was a really clever ball from Georgiou and great run from Eriksson. Just a fraction too far in front of him. He couldn't quite cut the shot back past the keeper. You can see there just stretching. He can't get the shot on the ball that's needed just to arrow that shot past Sitherson.
Eriksson with the ball then. Oh, and it was Davinson Sanchez. Not scored a senior goal so far for Tottenham. It really could go either way in these late stages now. Spurs looking more likely, and Georgiou, he's motoring away here. Clipped in towards Son.
Again, clever ball from Georgiou in behind that Barcelona defence. I think it's ģᴏᴜnsᴘᴜ who just gets a toe to it to force the ball back to his goalkeeper. But Spurs look the most likely.
There goes Malcolm, there's an offside flag up. Carter Vickers. Now Aurier. Here's Sanchez. Skip. Took a chance there. Was tackled, and now it's Malcolm trying to squeeze in, but Davies with the intervention. Eriksson has been outstanding after half-time. Kudu got the goal to make it 2-2. Skip. Georgiou. Sanchez. Here's Skip. Amos. That's Som. Oh, nearly a good ball there to try and squeeze in Serge Aurier. Amos. Now Eriksson. It's going to go for goal here. There were 5 in the attack in white shirts.
Good pressing, recuperating the ball, giving Eriksson the opportunity to strike. He'll just be disappointed that he hasn't hit the target from that position.
See there, a bumper crowd inside the Rose Bowl tonight. Just short of 67,000. A wonderful attendance, as we see time and time again in this great tournament. And they've enjoyed a bit of a treat in the second half from Spurs after the first half masterclass from Barcelona.
Yep, an old adage, the game of two halves. That's what it's certainly been. Honours even at the moment. Are we still here for some drama? A winner within the 90 minutes.
Remember, in terms of the way this tournament is set up, it's 3 points for a win in normal time. You win in a shootout, it's a 2-point return for that, and the loser in the shootout gets 1 point as well. We might not go that far though yet. Barcelona with a chance here. It's a good run, and it's the side netting. Nearly, but not quite. Amos there just couldn't contend with the thrust from that wide position from Tabla.
Yeah, Tabla again trying to fire the shot in at the near post. Form had it covered. Amos just stumbling at a vital moment on the edge of the 18-yard box to give him the opportunity to shoot.
It's an open game now in these final stages. Ben Davies. The best pass, but he got the ball that wide then to Nkudu. He's beaten his man. Here's Son now. Skip. Amos there to be hit. It's a corner, deflected. There'll be a few tired limbs out there now, but Spurs are digging deep. Can they pinch this here?
Joe, I just think the physicality that Spurs have, that little bit more experience, is just coming to the fore as this game's coming to an end.
Eriksson goes low, Son! Had to try and improvise there and just whip that back towards goal again. Tough chance.
They've really combined well this second half, Song and Eriksson. He tries to find him with a low corner towards the corner of the 6-yard box. Song's just trying to help that on. Actually scoops it in the end, which lifts it high over the bar.
Here's Cucurella. It's been gifted back to Tottenham straight away. Eriksson, great touch by him. Georgiou. He's a promising player, isn't he? Georgiou going on. Opted to shoot, blocked away by ģᴏᴜ. Davies for Nkudu. 4 by Palencia. Sanchez there was strong, and skip goes back to Michel Vorm.
Joe, I bet a lot of these young Barca players have not played in a game where they've had so little possession in this second half. Very uncharacteristic for them to be chasing the ball, trying to win it back in the way that they are now.
Aurier, good ball back for Son. Oh, and Son could be in now. Chance here to win it, maybe. But it's an excellent covering tackle, and it had to be as well. Really well timed.
Palencia coming in from that right back position.
Good finish here. ģᴏᴜ. Skip with the tackle.
Excellent again.
He's been good, hasn't he? Really good.
He's been very impressive. And as you say, 17 years of age.
Well, that's given away by Nkudu. Malcolm. Abel Ruiz. It's been forced wide by Carter Vickers. ģᴏᴜ. Now Monchi. This is Puig. And ģᴏᴜ. Any goal now would surely be a winning goal. We're heading towards just 1 minute of additional time at the end of the 90 minutes. That's a good ball to ģᴏᴜ. He's got some space here. They couldn't pick out a man there before, waiting. Still Barca attacking. Dangled out towards Palencia, but Nkudu did well. Into added time now, so 1 more minute to see if there'll be a winner in regulation time. Oh, that pass was just behind Ruiz. May have been offside had the ball come his way.
Yeah, Puig trying to find the run of Ruiz. Little rally at the end of this game from this young Barcelona side, trying to win it in normal time.
To perhaps a fair reflection of the game we've seen.
Yeah, as we said, a game of two halves. Barcelona dominated in the first period, but good response from Spurs in the second half.
Davies with the throw. It's come to Son. They're not done yet here, Tottenham. Son, it was low. It was a pretty routine save for ᴫᴜ. And that is the end of the 90 minutes, and it ends 2-2 in California. And applause all around here because it was a terrific game to enjoy. 2 first half goals to Barca, level by 2 for Spurs after the break from Son and then Nkudu. Spurs were pushing on for a winning goal to complete the comeback. It didn't